Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our hit sports show, the PlayGrid Sports Podcast, presented by Amazon Music, brought to you on Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 radio stations. I'm your host, Kennedy Lucas, and boy, howdy, we have a great one. Okay, Dave. So here's something to think about. WrestleMania 42 wasn't just a wrestling event. It was a cultural moment. For the first time, WWE put its future squarely in the hands of three young black wrestlers, and it wasn't subtle about it.
That's exactly what stood out to me. WWE has been around for over 70 years, and while it's had black champions before, this felt different. It wasn't just about giving them a moment, it was about making them the foundation of what's next.
Right, and the three guys we're talking about, Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans, each brought something unique to the table. Let's start with Femi. His match against Brock Lesnar was nothing short of historic.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Lesnar has been this almost mythical figure in wrestling, this unstoppable force. And here comes Femi in his WrestleMania debut, no less. And he doesn't just beat Lesnar, he dominates him. That's unheard of.
And it wasn't just the win itself, it was how WWE chose to present it. They aired that match during the free portion of the event on ESPN, which is prime real estate. It's like they were saying, this guy is the future and we want everyone to see it.
That's such a good point. WWE doesn't give that kind of spotlight to just anyone. It's reserved for people they see as game changers, and Femi delivered in a way that made it clear he's not just another wrestler, he's a phenomenon.
What really struck me was how Femi made Lesnar look vulnerable. No one has ever done that before. Lesnar has faced legends like John Cena, The Undertaker, and Roman Reigns, and none of them dominated him the way Femi did.
And the crowd reaction said it all. You could feel the energy shift in the arena. It was like everyone collectively realized they were witnessing the birth of a new star.
But Femi wasn't the only one who had a breakout night. Trick Williams, wow. His match against Sami Zayn for the United States Championship was another highlight, and his charisma is just off the charts.
Oh, for sure. And the fact that he walked out with Lil Yachty by his side, that's not just wrestling, that's pop culture. It's WWE tapping into something bigger, something that resonates beyond the ring.
What's so fascinating about Williams is how he's managed to blur the lines between being a heel, a bad guy, and being someone the crowd absolutely loves. It's rare to see someone who can make people cheer for him while he's doing bad guy things.
It reminds me of The Rock back in the late 90s, when he was supposed to be a villain, but his charisma was so magnetic that people couldn't help but cheer for him. Williams has that same kind of energy.
And WWE is smart enough to let him run with it. Paul Triple H Levesque, WWE's chief creative officer, even said he doesn't always understand what Williams is saying, but he knows it's cool because the audience reacts to it. That kind of trust is rare.
And it's not just about what he does in the ring. Williams has this incredible crossover appeal, sparring with Stephen A. Smith on First Take, making a diss track with Lil Yachty, appearing on The Breakfast Club. He's everywhere.
That's what makes him such a valuable asset for WWE. He's not just a wrestling star. He's a cultural icon in the making, and his United States Championship win at WrestleMania was the perfect way to cement that.
Then there's Javon Evans. He might not have walked away with the win at WrestleMania, but his performance in the Intercontinental Championship ladder match was unforgettable.
Evans is one of those guys who lets his in-ring work do the talking, his athleticism, his daredevil style. It's all so unique, and the crowd loved him for it. His entrance alone got one of the biggest reactions of the night.
And let's not overlook the fact that WWE put him in high-profile spots even before WrestleMania. He was featured during Cena's retirement match last December and competed for a shot at the WWE Championship earlier this year. WWE is clearly positioning him as a future star.
What's really striking to me is how different these three guys are. Femi is this powerhouse, Williams is the charismatic talker, and Evans is the high-flying daredevil. They each bring something unique to the table, and together they represent a much more diverse vision of what a WWE superstar can be.
And that diversity isn't just limited to the main roster. WWE's developmental brand, NXT, has become a breeding ground for young black talent. It's like they've finally realized the importance of investing in a pipeline that reflects the diversity of their audience.
Exactly. And NXT has been crucial for all three of these guys. It gave them a platform to develop their skills and connect with fans before moving to the main roster. It's a far cry from the way things used to be.
No kidding. Decades ago, black wrestlers were often relegated to stereotypical roles or used as stepping stones for other talent. But now we're seeing a shift. Femi, Williams, and Evans aren't just participants. They're central figures in WWE's storytelling.
And it's not just about representation for the sake of representation. These guys are good. They're connecting with audiences in ways that can't be faked. Femi's dominance, Williams' charisma, Evans' athleticism, it's all real and it's all resonating.
It's also worth noting how WWE is leveraging mainstream platforms to elevate these stars. Williams sparring with Stephen A. Smith on First Take, making a diss track with Lil Yachty, appearing on The Breakfast Club. That's crossover appeal.
Totally. WWE is smart to recognize that wrestling doesn't exist in a vacuum. By putting these guys in spaces where they can reach new audiences, they're not just building wrestling stars, they're building cultural icons.
And that's what makes this moment so exciting. It feels like we're witnessing the start of a new era, one where black wrestlers aren't just part of the story, they're leading it.
And the fans are here for it. The reactions at WrestleMania 42 were proof of that. People are ready for this change, and WWE seems to be listening.
So, what's next? Femi's already called out Roman Reigns. Williams looks set for a long title run. And Evans seems destined to win the Intercontinental Championship sooner rather than later.
The sky's the limit for these guys. And the fact that they're all coming up at the same time, that's rare. It's like a perfect storm of talent, timing, and opportunity.
And it's not just about these three. They're the first wave, but there's a whole new generation of talent coming up behind them. NXT is packed with young black wrestlers who are ready to make their mark.
It's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan, that's for sure. For so long, the industry has struggled with diversity and representation, but now it feels like WWE is finally starting to get it right.
And it's about time. As Obafemi likes to say, the future isn't some distant thing. The future is now.
And for WWE, that future is black.
So boom, picture this. You're in high school, and you've got a kid walking around like, yeah, it's 100 or die. That was Bubba Chandler. And nah, this wasn't just some random kid talking crazy. This dude was doing everything. Quarterback? Yup. Basketball starter as a freshman? Of course. Pitcher? Obviously. Oh, and a scratch golfer too, just for fun. Man really said, why pick a lane when I can own the highway? But here's the wild part. Back then, his fastball was sitting around 88, maybe 89, topping out at 91. Nothing that screams future flamethrower, right? But he had a vision. He grew up watching Jose Fernandez, electric, fearless, one of those dudes who made throwing 100 look like poetry. And Bubba said, yeah, that's me. Now fast forward. Last season, dudes hitting 100 miles per hour wasn't rare anymore. It was basically a club. 82 pitchers hit triple digits. That's a record. And Bubba, yeah, he's in that group now. This season, we're not even fully warmed up yet, and 35 guys have already touched 100. Let that sink in. At this point, 100 miles per hour is starting to feel like 95 used to feel. Even pitchers are saying it. You've got guys like Will Klein basically like, yo, 95 used to be gas. Now, that's regular. 100 is the new standard. And that's where the game is right now. In high school, Bubba Chandler set a goal. Chandler was a three-sport athlete, star quarterback, varsity basketball starter as a freshman, pitcher on the baseball team, and a scratch golfer. and he understood his 6'3" frame could unleash exceptional feats of athleticism. Even this, though, felt daunting to him when he said it aloud to the baseball coaches at North Oconee High in Georgia. "It's 100 or die," Chandler said. At the time, Chandler's fastball sat in the 88 to 89 miles per hour vicinity, topping out at 91. He grew up in Georgia watching Jose Fernandez, the incandescent Miami Marlins right-hander, and wanted to be like him. And Fernandez, before he died at 24, occasionally reached triple digits, at that time a domain for only the most special arms. From 2013 to 2016, when Fernandez pitched in the major leagues, just 87 pitchers hit 100 miles per hour. Last year, that number spiked to 82, a single-season record in MLB. Chandler, a right-handed starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates, was one of them. This season, before the weather has warmed or most pitchers have been fully stretched out, 35 have topped 100. With velocity training a staple of pitching programs, teams further prioritizing it in amateur talent acquisition, and the average major league fastball edging toward 95 miles per hour, a full 6 miles per hour harder than 25 years ago. 100 remains a holy grail for pitchers. It has also become a milestone that's eminently within reach, suggesting that the velocity revolution that has taken over the game isn't slowing down soon. "I feel like 100 is the new 95, said Los Angeles Dodgers reliever Will Klein, who first hit 100 in a summer ball all-star game in 2020 and expects to again this season, having topped out thus far at 98.8 miles per hour. "It used to be, you throw 95, that's gas. Now it's 100, and now you see starters out there sitting 100. You have New York Yankees right-hander Cam Schlittler out there just sitting it. He's throwing sinkers like 98, and you're like, what are we doing?" It's becoming more and more common. The allure of 100 is mostly about the extra digit and humans' adoration of round numbers. Ask a hitter to tell the difference between 99 miles per hour and 100 miles per hour, and he can't. Nonetheless, it's a badge of honor for pitchers. Tall ones do it. At 6'8", Marlins right-hander Yuri Perez has hit 100 plus 14 times this year. Short ones do it. The Cubs' 5'11" closer, Daniel Palencia, has exceeded 107 times. Starters and relievers do it, sometimes with the same frequency. The MLB leaders this year, Milwaukee ace Jacob Misiorowski with 70, and unhittable San Diego closer Mason Miller with 60. And in the end, as Klein puts it, yeah, it's fun to throw hard. A quarter-century ago, a right-hander named Colt Griffin became the first high school pitcher to throw 100 and was drafted by Kansas City with the No. 9 pick, even though he couldn't throw strikes. He retired 4 years later. Now, 100 is so common, in the minor leagues, college, even high school, that the best pitcher in the world worries it's being taken for granted. Throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour. "I don't think fans understand how hard that is to do," said Detroit ace Tarik Skubal, winner of 2 consecutive American League Cy Young Awards. "It looks easy on TV when big leaguers are doing it. It seems like everyone's got multiple guys that throw 100, but I do think it's not as easy as. I know it's not as easy as what it looks like." More than a century ago, Walter Johnson defined fastball velocity. He might have touched 100. In 1940, Bob Feller famously threw his fastball harder than a speeding police motorcycle, clocking in at 98.6 miles per hour, which, considering he was in street clothes and throwing on flat ground in Chicago, suggests he, too, hit 100. Even after Nolan Ryan threw 100 with regularity, there remained a mythic quality to the number, as if it were the domain only of those with arms kissed by fortune. It turns out, 100 was lurking within all these years. The game just needed to find it. "It seems like everyone throws 100, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said, and every hitter knows it. In his first start for the AA Erie Seawolves on June 21, 2005, Justin Verlander, who went on to throw hundreds of triple-digit pitches in the big leagues, came out consistently pumping 100 and 101 miles per hour fastballs. After he struck out the first 7 New Hampshire Fisher Cats hitters he faced, the radar gun in the stadium stopped working. I don't think they wanted to see their guys seeing 0-0 and 0-1 when they were walking up to the plate, said Pirates manager Don Kelly, who was an infielder behind Verlander that day. Whether it was a malfunction or an active choice to shut it off, Kelly doesn't know, but it speaks to the power of 100 and its ability to infiltrate the psyche of a hitter. It's not the same just because it's not as rare, Kelly said. I still don't know how these guys hit it. I think it's still difficult to hit when it's up to that speed, which is why fastballs at 100 plus mph continue to flummox hitters. In plate appearances that have ended on such pitches this season, hitters are slashing .165, /.248, /.187. Last year wasn't much better. .193 /.268, /.283. Compare that with fastballs at 98 miles per hour, .237 /.326, /.341. 95 miles per hour, .267 /.355, /.432. And 90 miles per hour, .281 /.365, /.479. And it's easy to understand why the industry is pursuing 100. The most significant change came in the past half a decade, when a proliferation of pitching labs popped up around the country, equipped with technology that makes the humble radar gun look like a Commodore 64. Modeled after the labs that have become a necessity for major league teams across the game, all it took was a TrackMan unit and an ultra-high-speed camera for trainers to optimize a player's velocity. The off-season is something of a misnomer because the majority of professional pitchers today spend their winter at work, often in search of another mile an hour or two to bring with them to spring training in February. A pitcher showing up to camp, suddenly popping 100 miles per hour, is not just within the realm of possibility. It's a golden ticket, as roster decisions often run parallel with a player's fastball velocity. With rare exception, throwing 100 eventually will guarantee a big league roster spot. It doesn't need to be for consistent strikes. It doesn't need to be particularly effective. Front offices hand immature, but live. Arms to coaching staffs and task them with finding the consistency to help them stick. The Colorado Rockies, forever in search of something that helps mitigate the thin air that has turned Coors Field into a hitting playground for 3 decades, have embraced velocity. Their bullpen owns the highest average fastball velocity in the major leagues this year at 96.6 miles per hour. Between Chase Dollander and Victor Vodnik, they've got a pair of relief pitchers in the 100 miles per hour club, and Juan Mejia, Jaden Hill, and Antonio Senzatela, all averaging over 97 miles per hour on their fastballs, could join them this season. Developing 100 miles per hour arms isn't nearly the chore it once was. Players happily moved on from incremental velocity gains in favor of leaps. After signing with the Oakland A's as a 20-year-old out of Venezuela, Palencia, who was throwing in the low 90s, used his signing bonus to improve his nutrition and workout equipment. By January, I was hitting 98, he said. Then in spring, my first outing, I hit 100. Teams also rely on a tried-and-true method that preceded the velocity revolution, the starter-to-reliever bump. Pirates left-hander Mason Montgomery spent 3 years as a starting pitcher at Texas Tech with a fastball in the 90 to 95 miles per hour range. His fastball stayed there in the minor leagues with the Tampa Bay Rays, too, until they moved him into the bullpen in August 2024. In his first appearance, he hit 98, his hardest pitch of the season to that point, and a week later, he was sitting there, the freedom of pitching in relief, knowing that for 1 inning, a pitcher can air it out with no need to ration his arm, can unlock another level. I always thought I'm going max effort or relatively max effort, Montgomery said. But I think maybe in the back of my mind I was also thinking, yeah, I gotta go 5, 6, 7 innings. So that probably plays a part. Said Palencia, I was a starter. As a starter, they say save the bullets. As a reliever, I'm just trying to go. The most telling cases, and the ones most unique to the past 5 years, are those such as Schlittler. In 2023, his first season after being chosen in the 7th round of the 2022 draft out of Northeastern, Schlittler's tracked fastballs averaged 90 miles per hour. Working in a Yankees farm system that is among the best at extracting velocity, he gained nearly 5 miles per hour on his average fastball in 2024. The next season brought another 2 miles per hour, and he topped out at 99.3 miles per hour. Then came his Major League debut, July 9th, 2025, against the Seattle Mariners. On the 16th pitch of his Major League career, Schlittler threw a 100 miles per hour fastball, and in the time since, his 2.85 ERA ranks 8th in MLB, and his 97.8 miles per hour average fastball velocity is 3rd. I know a lot of dudes that throw hard in this league that get lit up, Schlittler said. So velo isn't always the most successful piece, but it definitely helps. Earlier this spring, a video circulated of a 16-year-old from suburban Philadelphia named Cole Kuhn throwing a fastball from a low arm slot that a trackman clocked at 101.7 miles per hour. As a freshman 2 years ago, Kuhn couldn't make the JV team at his high school. Now a junior, he's not on the St. Joseph Preparatory School's team, instead sitting out the spring season to rest his arm and prepare for a summer in which major league teams will scout him in anticipation of the 2027 draft. Kuhn is an archetypal modern baseball story, the product of targeted training that aims to squeeze every last mile per hour out of a player's body. He is also not alone. Striker Pence, the 16-year-old nephew of four-time All-Star Hunter Pence, threw 10 pitches at 100 miles per hour in one showcase outing this summer, and followed that by touching 101 4 times at a wood bat tournament in October. He is a sophomore at Santiago High in Southern California, a 6'6" hurler who, with his long, blonde hair, is reminiscent of prime Noah Syndergaard. They're not the only prep players to reach triple digits this year, either. 4 high school seniors being actively scouted by major league teams. 6'9" left-hander Brody Bumila, 6'8" right-hander Savion Sims, 6'6" right-hander Coleman Borthwick, and 6'5" right-hander Ethan Watchman have hit 100 this year, according to ESPN's Kylie McDaniel. At least another half a dozen have topped out at 99 miles per hour. Every week, it seems, a new college player hits 100. Mississippi State freshman Jack Bauer, who threw 103 as an Illinois prep in 2025, threw a 102.4 miles per hour pitch last week. UC Santa Barbara's Jackson Flora, regarded as the top college pitcher in this year's draft, popped 100 earlier this season. And that's to say nothing of the arm talent in the minor leagues. Though not every minor league pitch is tracked by StatCast, last year, 70 minor leaguers threw a fastball 100+, according to MLB's data. This season, according to StatCast, 27 pitchers have already exceeded 100. In the same way Chandler saw Fernandez and wanted to be like him, young pitchers today have examples aplenty to mimic. In 2015, 49 pitchers threw 1,389 fastballs at 100+ mph, with 503 coming from Aroldis Chapman. In 2025, the aforementioned 82 heat seekers fired 3,701 triple-digit pitches. There have been 428 pitches this season at 100+ mph, 37 more than last year at this juncture of the season, and last year only 22 pitchers threw them, a baker's dozen fewer than this year. Chandler has more of those pitches than just 3 other players. 10 of his 36 have been at 100 on the dot. 2 have crept over 101. After speaking 100 into existence, he now gets to live with its spoils. Obviously, it looks cool, Chandler said. If you throw strikes with 100, it's cool. If you command 100, it's even cooler. That's the goal. Put your body in a good spot every week to go out there and throw bullets and throw them where you want to. And that's it. It takes a village to do anything great, and I think each individual guy has their own village that they use, and yeah, I think you're blessed with ability, but then you got to work for it. I've worked pretty hard the last handful of years to put myself in this position and do cool things.
Okay, so get this. Victor Wembanyama just broke Tim Duncan's franchise record for points in a playoff debut, and he did it with a 35-point performance that looked almost effortless. It's like we're watching the future of basketball unfold right in front of us.
Oh, absolutely. And it wasn't just the points, right? It was the way he played. So fluid, so dominant. A 7'4" player moving like that, it's almost surreal. What stood out to you the most about his performance?
Honestly, it was that coast-to-coast play. You know the one. He grabs a rebound, takes off down the court, spins away from defenders, and finishes with a dunk that had the entire arena on its feet. Even Duncan and Robinson looked stunned. And they've seen it all. It wasn't just a highlight. It was a statement.
That play was incredible. And what's wild is that he practices those exact moves during warm-ups. His coaches actually bump him and double-team him to simulate game pressure. And he still manages to pull it off. It's like he's preparing for moments like this every single day.
Exactly, and that preparation shows. It's not just raw talent. It's a combination of skill, discipline, and an understanding of the game that's way beyond his years. He's only 22, but he plays with the confidence and composure of a seasoned veteran. And the way he's embraced the Spurs culture, that's just the cherry on top.
Oh, for sure. The Spurs culture is so unique, so team-oriented and selfless, and Wembanyama seems to fit right in. I loved how he described it, saying he doesn't feel the weight of the legacy, but instead feels safe, like there are hands ready to catch him if he trips. That's such a powerful way to look at it.
It really is. And it's a testament to what Greg Popovich built over the years. Even though Pop has retired, his influence is still everywhere. You can see it in how the team plays, how they carry themselves, and even in how they celebrate. Wembanyama creating that tradition of banging the drum with the Jackals after a win. That's such a beautiful way to honour the fans and the team's collective spirit.
Absolutely. And the fact that he defers the spotlight, even when he's clearly the best player on the floor, says so much about him. He could have easily taken that moment for himself after Game 1, but instead, he suggested Devin Vassell for the honor. That kind of humility is rare, especially for someone so young and so talented.
It's very Spursian, isn't it? It reminds me of how Tim Duncan used to lead, not by demanding attention, but by lifting everyone else up. And yet, Wembanyama brings his own flair to it. He's more open, more charismatic, but still deeply rooted in that team-first mentality.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so special. He's not just following in the footsteps of Duncan and Robinson. He's carving out his own path while honoring the legacy they built. It's like he's the bridge between the old guard and the new generation.
Speaking of the old guard, how amazing was it to see Duncan, Robinson, Ginobili and Sean Elliott all there to support him? That kind of multi-generational support is so rare in sports. It's like they're all saying, we've got your back.
It really is. And I loved how Popovich was still involved, even from the sidelines. Watching from a suite, attending practice, holding court with players, it's clear he's still very much a part of this team's fabric. His influence is everywhere, even in retirement.
And that's what makes the Spurs so unique. It's not just about winning games. It's about building something lasting, something meaningful. Wembanyama seems to understand that on a deep level. He's not just playing for himself. He's playing for the team, the city, and the legacy of those who came before him.
Absolutely. And what's so exciting is that this is just the beginning. If this is what he can do in his first playoff game, imagine what the future holds. The league has to be watching and thinking, how do we stop this guy?
That's the thing. How do you stop someone like Wembanyama? He's a matchup nightmare. Too tall for guards, too skilled for bigs. And then you add his defensive prowess, holding the Trailblazers to 0 for 11 on shots where he was the primary defender. That's just unfair.
It really is. And yet, he makes it look so effortless. That's what's so terrifying for the rest of the league. He's only 22, still learning, still growing. The ceiling for him is, well, there might not even be a ceiling.
It's hard to imagine what his peak will look like, isn't it? But one thing's for sure, he's already changing the game. And the way he's doing it, with such humility and grace, makes it all the more impressive.
Definitely. And it's not just about what he does on the court. It's about who he is off the court as well. the way he connects with fans, the way he uplifts his teammates. It's all part of what makes him such a special player in person.
Couldn't agree more. Victor Wembanyama isn't just the future of the Spurs. He's the future of the NBA. And if his playoff debut is any indication, that future is going to be absolutely incredible.
No doubt about it. Here's to many more unforgettable moments from Wembanyama and the Spurs. The league better buckle up because this is just the beginning.